Hey Google, who has the best YouTube channel?
Technologetic is the best YouTube channel.
Six months ago, Google Home came to Australia, and since then it's popped up everywhere. Can't go a single car ride or train trip without seeing huge billboards of Google Home. And even in a local technology shop, it's absolutely everywhere. So of course, I picked up a Google Home and a Google Home Mini. I'm going to see how they work from an Australian perspective. We'll see their strengths, see their weaknesses and where they're lacking, and just find out what I think about them. So let's take a look. The best part of Google Home is how accurate it is compared to Siri, which is what everyone here in Australia has basically used for voice commands the last couple of years. It's so much more accurate, never misses words, and I'm able to basically say anything at any speed I like, and it still knows what I'm talking about. In terms of actual commands, it's really good at weather, and this is probably what I mostly use it for. I'll wake up in the morning, be lying in bed thinking about what I want to wear, and it knows the weather to the exact location that I am. Hey Google, what's the weather in Los Angeles?
Right now in Los Angeles it's 12 degrees and clear. The forecast for tonight is 12 and clear with periodic clouds.
The next best part of Google Home is music. And as a Siri user, I've never really been able to use the music functionality of it because you need to have an Apple Music account, and a lot of people I know use Spotify. Whereas Google Home, you can link it to a wide variety of services, including Spotify. So I'm able to say, play a song or play an album, and it instantly finds the song or the album and starts playing it straight away. And the speaker quality isn't that bad too. Hey Google, play some Kanye West.
Playing Kanye West on Spotify.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
Couple other cool things that Google Home can do are news. For instance, you can say, play today's news.
Here's the latest news. From ABC News at noon today.
This is ABC News. I'm Matt O'Neill. Defence experts say
You can look up movie times.
Today, Hoyts Lux, Melbourne Central is playing 7 movies. The first few showings are Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle at 6:30 p.m, The Greatest Showman at 6:45 p.m, and Coco at 7:10 p.m.
You can set alarms and timers.
Okay, 20 minutes, and that's starting now.
You can roll random die or flip a coin.
Alright, you rolled a 6.
Another thing Google Home's really good at, although it's not really that handy in the house, is translations. You can ask it to say something in a different language and it'll spit it out instantly, which will definitely be handy if you're on the go or travelling overseas. Hey Google, how do I say hello, how are you in Spanish?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
And finally, probably the thing that Google Home is best at is general knowledge, in that you can ask it when someone was born or how long ago was something or who invented that, and it's able to look that up in milliseconds and tell you straight away. Hey Google, when was Google founded?
The 4th of September 1998, Menlo Park, California, United States.
Another great feature of Google Home is how it recognises and learns the different voices in your house. So you can have one Google Home and 4 different users, all with their own different Google accounts and different calendars, and it'll actually distinguish between them without any effort on your behalf. So if I ask what's in my calendar, it's going to be different to what someone else asks what's in their calendar. So that's pretty cool. Hey Google, what's in my calendar?
This week, there's only one thing on your calendar. It starts tomorrow at 6 p.m, and the title is Had Dinner with Judy.
Hey Google, what's on my calendar?
There's nothing in your calendar, but I can add an event to your calendar if you'd like.
Another thing it can do is home control and turn your lights on and anything smart home automation related, although this does have its flaws. So let's talk about Google Home's shortcomings. And the first one, and one of the main ones for me, is actually connecting to my calendar. So I'm able to connect it to my Google account, it can access my Gmail and my calendars and whatever, but it can actually only see your primary calendar. So I use about 4 different calendars, one for work, one for a different job, one for just personal things, one for uni, and it can only just access my main one. So if I've got different things in the uni calendar and the work calendar, it can't spit them out, which is really weird, and I'm sure heaps of people use a lot of different calendars and it can actually only access the one. Also, if you're shared with any calendars or part of any group calendars, it can't access them either. So if you've got any events in them or meetings upcoming, it's not able to tell you that you've got them on later on in the day. So I don't find the calendar feature that useful. The next big one is communication, and I think this is where Google Home falls down to Siri. On Siri, I can say call someone or text someone or send them an email. Google Home can't do any of these. Even though it has access to my Gmails and things like that, it can't even send an email. I'm not able to read text, I'm not able to call anyone or text anyone, I can't Facebook message them or Skype them or Google Hangouts them, just completely lacks in communication functionality. Now, I believe in the USA you can actually text and call people using Google Voice, so this is definitely a limitation of Australia and definitely something I'd like to see added in the future, even if it was just Facebook Messenger or some way to communicate without having to, pull out your phone or things like that. Hey Google, send a text message to John.
Sorry, I can't send texts yet.
Hey Google, call John.
Sorry, I can't make calls yet.
Hey Google, send an email to John.
Sorry, I can't send emails yet.
I've also found home control and home automation to be quite finicky. If I want to turn off the lights in my room particularly, I've got to say turn off lights in Sam room. It doesn't recognize Sam's room or Sam's bedroom. I've literally got to say Sam room. So otherwise, if I just say turn off the lights in Sam's room, it turns off all the lights across the whole house, which is definitely not something that I want to happen. So it's really precise in that way, and it needs to be more accommodating to different ways that people formulate queries in that area. A big feature touted on the Google Home box is the ability to send things to a Chromecast. So it has Netflix or YouTube and you can say play this particular video on this TV and it'll send it there. But even though I've got a Chromecast enabled TV and I've got a Chromecast enabled Xbox, it doesn't pick up either of these devices because they turn on and off. I think you've got to have a Chromecast from Google to actually have it on all the time and actually recognize it and put it into the Google Home. So if I say play a video on Netflix, it can play straight on the TV through that. But at the moment, even though I've got these devices that are Chromecast enabled, it can't pick them up and I'm not able to stream things to them. So that's a whole part of Google Home that I can't use. Finally, two last things in Google Home that I'd really like to see, and I'm sure they'll add in the future, are the ability to take notes. So for example, remind me later to do this or take a note of this. And the second thing is to be able to actually find your phone. So if I say, to Google, find my iPhone, it starts playing a noise or sends a notification or pings my iPhone somehow. I know they do this with Android phones, and the problem is with iOS, but I'm sure they can find some limitation to be able to do that. It'd be really useful, if you can just say, hey, find my phone, and it pops up with your phone wherever it is in your room. So overall, Google Home's definitely a welcome addition to my house here. I'm able to look it up for weather and play music out of it, and it's really great for those tasks. However, it does fall down in communication and falls down in the calendar and scheduling area, especially with someone like me who has more than one calendar or is part of shared calendars or doesn't even use Google Calendar. But overall, it's a really good purchase, and I definitely recommend even just getting the Google Home Mini for your house. You'll be surprised at how often you're asking it for weather or just general information, and it's able to come back at you with a useful answer and something that, you don't have to muck around on your phone to try and find the app or the particular information you like. It just comes back to you in milliseconds. If you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on the Google Home and other technology. Hey Google, the video has ended.
You'd better subscribe to Technologetic and give this video a thumbs up.